Do you remember what you said to me before we started watching this?
Yeah. The first season?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, "I know what you're gonna say, and I know what you're gonna think, and I don't want you to make any faces at me as you watch this show." And that's because I knew that as that first episode went on, that you were gonna think of me and my road rage, but I've gotten better.
You just curse at people now.
I just curse.
You never honk the horn. That's the
No, I
that's the
don't do
thing.
that. I don't do that.
No, but yeah, we got to watch we got to watch both seasons of
Mhm.
Beef. Actually started off with season 2 and we liked it so much that went back and watched season 1 and um holy crap, what a show. I got like some of the notes here, right? So it's got Stephen Yeun, Ali Wong, Joseph Lee, Young Mazzino, David Cho, Maria Bello, and Andrew Santino, and Ashley Park, and Mia Serafino, and Stizzy. Rex Stizzy played Bobby. That
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting cast. Uh, Steve, because we've been watching Stephen Yeun on Invincible, and we saw last time we saw him. Well, I don't know about you because you watch a lot of stuff, especially with movies and things like that. But I haven't seen Stephen Yeun since Walking Dead.
Yeah, I think this was the first thing, maybe one or but no, this might have been the only thing that I've seen after Walking Dead with him as well.
I
I'm trying to think
I
between all
don't, yeah, other than Invincible, but which is
yeah.
kick ass, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Um, but yeah, it was very interesting. I knew about the show. I knew you had watched it before. I knew you loved it. You had told me to watch it a few times, and then spontaneously watched the second season. I just because the second season was so good, I just wanted to see what the first one was, and I'll get to my thoughts on when we do both seasons about which one I liked and stuff like that. But this one was just like it started off. It started off like that day at the courthouse a couple months ago for us. You don't remember where that lady you were trying to back up and that lady almost hit us?
Oh, yeah.
It was
You
it
were in
was
the car with me for
yeah,
that,
it
that's right.
it was literally like the exact
Yeah, it was actually
same thing
because we both
where
stopped.
Amy,
Uh-huh.
she drove right past Danny's car, Stephen Yu's
Mhm.
character, and like it just erupted from one middle finger to a chase
Yeah.
that, funny enough, reminisced a chase that happened a couple weeks ago. I can't remember where some lady was chasing after some kid on a bike and she drove on a bunch of people's lawns, and that's
Oh
what,
my
yeah, just like Stephen Yoon did.
yeah.
Like, and like the footage legitimately looked like
Yeah.
from the show. Like it,
Yeah.
it was I try not to laugh at it, but it was just like, oh, I
Yeah.
I guess they've seen Beef too. But
That's what the writer of the show said. He based it off of real life.
that is,
A
but
real life road rage incident where he chased someone down.
well, it's funny too because like the road rage incident is like minuscule compared to
Oh
the
my
rest of the things
god.
that happen in the rest of the season. Like you don't
Yeah.
even think about
No.
the fact that the middle finger was thrown up, or the
That's
fact
the
or the fact
least.
that, oh, hello,
Yeah.
or the fact that Amy almost hit Danny with her car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hello. You completely forget about that stuff, and you're thinking about it and you're just like, wait a minute, this all started because of a small road rage
Yeah.
incident, and it
Made so
just and
little.
it got worse. It got worse. That's a run of the mill bad luck. Like you, and then like he's got Paul, his little brother, with him, who he's not a bad guy. He's just,
No.
he's kind of
Young.
he's young. He's kind of trying to figure it out. In whatever age that he's in, and lives with his brother, plays video games, invests in crypto. He's got some money. He's not doing bad. He's just living in a very basic
Yeah.
apartment. Yeah,
He
he's
is.
just like anyone at that age, and he's meeting girls, he's working, he's just, normal, but he's got his brother who's, I guess, keeps on fucking shit up,
Yeah,
for
not
some odd
super
reason.
great.
And it's funny because, like, I guess, like, at some points in the show, they made it feel like that Paul was, like, the fucked up brother,
Yeah.
but he was just a little brother that kinda just got
Well,
pulled into
he
everything.
was lied to through the whole thing. He didn't
That
know
too, yeah.
until the end who she was and what he was getting himself into, so
Yeah,
there's a lot of innocent
that whole situation with
bystander.
Paul and Amy was crazy because she
Yep,
catfished him.
she did.
He
He
went to
didn't
her
care.
he went to her job, he found her more attractive
Yeah,
than
he
the
didn't care.
girl that she was catfishing as, which
Yeah,
was her employee,
yep,
which is even crazier,
yeah. And the
and
employee who was that was the employee that was sleeping with her husband, or not sleeping with
well,
her husband,
she was, like, getting emotionally, it was like an
emotionally
emotional affair,
affair.
which was a whole 'nother, but that whole situation, but, like, Amy didn't have to fuck Paul.
She did a lot.
She didn't
She did a lot she
she
probably
didn't
shouldn't have
have to
done.
do that,
Yeah.
and, like, just when you think, like, "Okay, maybe this might be over," it's just like, "Oh my god," then Paul starts falling for her, and it just it gets crazy, and then
Yeah.
George is having an emotional affair with the co with the employee,
Yep.
his art's not selling, his mom's in debt.
Which that actor actually is an artist, and he helped create some of the art, I believe, for the show.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool. The art was very phallic, I guess you could
Phallic,
say,
yeah, it was
the chair, but the whole thing with the chair was funny too because he
yeah,
didn't wanna let go of the chair, and then he let go of the chair, there was, like, the chair was like a big plot point of the show for, like, 3 or 4 episodes,
yeah, it
even
was a it's
even after it got
significant.
sold, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it meant something to that family.
Yeah, and then you have, what was his what was his cousin's name? David? Isaac.
Isaac,
Isaac,
that's
which was
the one
played
who
by
yeah,
David Cho. Now, his
just say
I'm
it.
not trying to be mean or anything, but his acting sucked. It just didn't work for me. I don't know, like, it he just seemed like his character was on point, the annoyance was on point, but he just like the acting, he didn't convince me so much that like he was just there, and I don't know what it was about it, but he was a great element to the show because he ended up going to jail
Yeah,
and you know
crazy things
yeah,
happened.
and like I don't know, his art's pretty interesting. He did the art for I can't remember which Star Wars show it was. And he I just it didn't work for me. Because he was just screaming and
It was a lot of yelling,
it was a lot
yeah,
of yelling and a lot of like bros if this and stuff like that. And I don't know, it didn't work with me. Everyone else was like completely on point and everyone didn't skip a beat, but there was just something about like David Cho's acting.
mm,
Not the character I thought was perfectly written, but just the acting, it didn't work well for me. And they have this they have the landscaping business and
yeah.
it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean yeah, towards the when he got it
Yeah,
right, it was doing good. It was a
yeah.
little rough, it was a little rough.
As
The tree cutting
what Amy says, she called it a micro business.
Mike oh, no, not to him.
She was like, and that was that was something that was interesting about her character. She was a small business transitioning into like a multi-billion-dollar sale or something like that. So like someone was buying the store or something, and it was interesting because like she did have this like perspective of like being a small business owner. She knew what it was like to struggle, even though
Yep,
she married into wealth.
yep,
I guess
and
is the right
she
thing to say.
it's funny because she does make a comment that she doesn't even know anything about the plants. She owns a business, she doesn't
No,
know anything
she
about the
doesn't.
plants.
She's got a lot of plants, and aren't George's like? Doesn't George have like vases
That's his art, yeah, they're
in the
like
plants too?
yeah,
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 I- I-
she
it's
puts his art in
it's
the
it's
shop.
it's funny. It's really funny because, like, the store itself because, like, w with her, the store and the house are like a representation of her life, and then you have, like, Steven Yeun's character who has, like, this struggling business, micro business, if you
Mhm,
will, and his home kind of reflects that too, his basic apartment, but he's working to get like the bigger there's a bigger plot story around where he's trying to get the house for his parents.
mhm, yep, he's trying to bring him back to America so he
Yeah,
could retire and live with his
yeah,
wife.
and they're just like they're fed up with his shit too.
Yeah,
That's funny to me because like they're just like, the parents they believe in him, but
they're
they're
losing hope.
yeah, like
Yeah,
they're getting older. The father didn't want to work anymore, which is
yeah,
understandable.
absolutely.
I'm getting there. And and that was an interesting dynamic, and we didn't see too much of the parents, but like finding out what happened to the house after, which we'll get to that little revelation soon. Um, and then there's what else do I have in my notes? Like some of the filming locations. So one thing that I liked about this show was that we watch a lot of sci-fi shows. And a lot of the sci-fi shows, well, a lot of the shows that we watch have a lot of green screen, blue screen,
Mhm,
CGI, and graphics and stuff like that. And this show didn't have that.
yeah,
Most of it, from what I was reading and in my notes here, most of the show was filmed on location,
yeah,
and
that would make
which
sense.
I mean, a show like this, it would be easy to do. They did,
Absolutely.
some soundstage stuff, minimal
Yeah,
soundstage stuff, but the producers of the show really wanted to give an energy of like Southern California, which I thought that was interesting, right? Because we like the Deftones. We like a lot of music from that area, a lot of stuff and I didn't really ever think about like, when we watch something, the areas that they're filming in are giving us a specific energy and a specific feeling of what of the kind of worlds that they live in.
yeah,
Even though like she lived, very wealthy of in the hills, and
right.
he lived in a old hotel complex or something, or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
his parents' old, the hotel that they used to stay
Yeah,
in, right.
seeing like LA like that, it was interesting. We've never been there, so I don't know. I can't say how realistic it is or
Right,
anything like that. But seeing a show like that, especially like A24, right? A24, they're killers. They are killers, and like they do great movies.
yep,
And I didn't even know that this was an A24 show until like the credits rolled up, and I
yeah,
was like, okay, this is gonna be good then. And it's really interesting to see
yeah,
that whole production side of things where they want to be grounded in their productions, and they want everyone to see what they're filming. I think it's great. I think it's great. We see it a lot with, like I guess like those cop shows,
right.
like NYPD Blue and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know, what was some of your favorite scenes from this first season?
I'd say the scene where Steven Yeun's character comes into Ali Wong's home when after the accident, he realizes that's where the car is. He thinks it's the husband who was in the car. And I think the revelation point where he realizes she was the one driving, and then, of course, when he goes in the bathroom, pisses all over her bathroom. She's like, "Give me your number." He's like, "No, gotta go, bye." And then she goes in the bathroom and finds the piss, and she just starts running down the street like a mad woman. It's hilarious. It's 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 doable. I could see yes, because if you're pissing on my nice house, if I have a house like that, I'm running after your ass. Because what the fuck is wrong with you? She doesn't
Yeah,
know at that point that he's the one that was in the car.
yeah.
She's thinking it's a contractor, which, by the way, I'm sorry, with all due respect, you're not coming in my home. Who the fuck are you? She's just like, "Yeah,
No,
no, come
no,
look."
yeah. What was
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with
yeah.
that?
Oh, you see a leak from,
He
like,
just
5 blocks away?
Yeah, and she just believes it. She's just
No.
like, "Oh, you're a contractor? Come on in."
No, that's the
So
only
then
unrealistic part of it
it
that I
was
feel like
it
for
was
both of them.
like it was like the beginning of a snuff film
It's
or something
ridiculous.
like that.
This is not we could stand outside and speak, you're not coming in
That was
here.
so weird.
Yeah.
They can't be that nice.
No.
There is
That's the
no
only
way.
unrealistic thing. But you know what? I could see somebody else doing that. I just know that I
I
wouldn't do
don't.
that.
There's definitely, yeah,
I
same
wouldn't.
here.
You're not
I'm not
coming
letting
in.
you in my
You're
house. Oh,
not
you
touching
see a
it.
leak? Okay, I'll call a plumber.
Yeah,
It was
thanks.
just like what George
You're a
did
plumber, good for you.
when Bobby and oh God, I can't even remember their names.
Isaac?
No, Bobby and Michael.
Oh, okay.
After, like, when Danny was like, "No, no, we're calling the robbery off, like, that's it,"
Yeah.
because they were gonna rob the
They
house.
were
That was crazy. They were
yeah.
gonna legitimately they were gonna do a full-on, like, GTA
Yeah,
heist
no, they had it planned
in the
out for it.
house,
Yeah.
and Steven Yeun was like, "No, no, we're doing it," but they went anyway.
Idiots.
They went anyway.
Idiots. Yeah. No, that was a really intense scene. That
I
the whole scene, that whole episode, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then we get to, like, we're like, oh my god, there was, I'm trying to think, there was also, the jail scene when, Isaac goes to jail, and
Oh,
you realize that Danny's like,
yeah.
he's not gonna help him out, and,
No.
like, yeah, like,
Yeah, when he realized he's like, "You ratted me out. It was you."
like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna tell them that you were the one
No,
driving?
he's like, "But why? Why rock the boat?"
And that's, I'm
They
thinking,
already got
yo, but in my head, if I'm Danny, I'm like, "This dude's gonna get out soon because he didn't kill nobody." You know what I mean?
right.
It wa
Not
I
yet.
Yeah, I didn't his charges weren't, they were bad,
Yeah.
but they weren't to the point he wasn't serving life in prison. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
he was a previously convicted
yes, he
felon,
was,
so
yeah.
his chances of staying in for a little bit are a lot higher, that's for
Yeah, but not
so, and it
forever.
came right back to him once he was out of prison this last time, so of course he's gonna but like he said,
Yeah, but
The Filipinos had a hit on him, so
yo, they wanted
realistically
him
yeah,
bad.
they
They
wanna get back,
wanted
yeah.
he kept on begging. He was like, "They're gonna kill me,
Yeah,
man. Money. I owe them money." Like,
yeah,
yo,
he was
how do you get
super
yourself that?
chicken.
And okay, so I think that was probably his best scenes, him being scared.
Yeah,
I
they were quite ridiculous,
they
yeah.
his fear is quite hilarious, and that was one thing that stood out. But
Yeah,
the you real like, oh my god, Danny's not gonna save him, and then him and Paul are kind of having a falling out at the
yep,
same time, and it's kind of there's things brewing between
yeah.
them two
Well, he's
because
fucked Paul. He's fucked his
because
future up.
Paul is fucking Amy,
Yeah,
and Danny doesn't know that it's Amy,
yep,
and then he took the picture from his phone
yep.
and masturbated to it, and then when he
Realized who
realized
it
who it
was.
was,
Yep.
he
That's
wanted
when he lost it.
that's when how
That's
could you
when he
but
lost
first
it.
off, how fucking invasive are you to go into your brother's phone while he's sleeping,
The jerking off to the picture on your brother's phone was a lot. That was a lot, but
and he sent it
what
to
he did was a
himself?
lot more.
No,
That was
that
crazy.
was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he sent it to himself. That was so
That
crazy.
was why,
Like, you could just type in "ass" on the internet, and you can get, like, 9
you
gazillion of those. You
and
didn't
you
need
mean
to
to
do that.
tell me
It's
that
very
Paul
crazy.
didn't look at his phone and
Yeah.
be like, "Yo, why did you
Send
send
that
yourself
picture?
why,"
Yeah.
like,
They never show them deleting stuff in shows and movies, right? Like,
no,
a real person
no.
would be like, "Oh, I gotta delete this right now," and then delete from this deleted
No, you're
messages.
absolutely right, because that's a
Yeah.
scene
Yeah.
that Danny should have that we would have seen that, and I don't think he did. I don't think he
No,
deleted that
no.
message,
Yeah.
and that I think that's a little, like, missed little plot hole, but
Yeah.
still, like, like, if I was Paul playing that character, I would have been like, what the fuck?"
Yeah, what the fuck is this shit,
Like
brother?
you're like, first off,
Yeah.
how did this even get sent to you?
No, it's
Did you
crazy.
look through my
Like,
phone?
why did you do that?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
wrong.
that's their relationship though, I think. And that's a big, like, point of the show too, that
And
he held his brother back a lot. I mean, he'd throw out his college acceptance letters.
that was
You know,
crazy.
that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty low, and that's why I love Amy's speech as well to him when they're talking, of course, when they towards the end, when they get into the car accident, again, another road rage incident that keeps them in the desert, essentially
Yeah.
going through food poisoning and starvation and dehydration. And she says these things to him like, you're holding him back. You're not letting him grow.
Meaningfully, she tells.
Very meaningfully, still, I guess, a little bit harsh, but it's true. And that's something that he realizes. And I think he really realizes that, towards the end when we speak about that. But yeah, I love the story. I also want to speak on Stephen Yoon's, like, I guess, path of faith, the church,
Yes,
like,
the
to keep his
whole
innocence in there.
the whole church plot
Oh, I
line.
I I do love that because it just, like, I don't know, for some people, I guess it would humanize him a lot and
N
just
Yeah,
show there's
I
a
mean,
different side to him. He's
Isaac
not all
wa
bad.
wasn't Isaac taking money though from that?
I think if he wasn't successfully, he was trying to,
Yeah,
but
but
I know Stephen Yoon, like,
yeah,
tried to protect that
that I
place
mean, he and that the one dude with his ex-girlfriend
out of control.
and, like, with the whole house fire, he thought it
Yeah.
was him, and he beat the shit
He's
out
like, "No, I was just sending you magazines." Like, so pure and innocent, and you had said, you're like, "It was him, he did it." I'm like, "Look at this guy, he's shaking in his boots, he couldn't burn down an
Yeah,
anthill."
and that so the whole church, storyline was beautiful, and
Yeah,
I
I love
love that
that.
what I was reading actually was that's a real community church that they used,
Oh, cool.
in LA for that. I don't know if there was any deeper ties to that, like if any of the actors went there or
Right,
anything like that, but that there was it's a specific one that they shot on location for that,
right.
and all that stuff was, like, very pure, and I believe some of the extras may have been, like, from that church as well. I could be wrong, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I mix up a lot of stuff sometimes. But I thought that was really cool too. And then I mean, I can't stand it when people sing in anything,
Oh,
in
you do?
shows,
You
in
find it so cringe. I love it. I
you
personally
know.
loved it.
But if that's Stephen Yeun singing,
Right, those gemstones,
he
hello?
got the arm, he got the lungs of an angel. You know what I mean? But no, that
The voice of an angel and Fergie
yeah.
combined.
It
Yeah.
was beautiful though. That was very beautiful because like you really see his emotional struggle from trying to figure out what the fuck he's gonna do next to finding solace in a bunch of strangers
Yeah.
that accepted him in and they didn't even know him and he showed up,
Yeah.
and then and in some perspectives that's God,
That's
that's
God,
God, baby,
baby.
and he, that was a very good storyline. Even Paul's character development was really good because he kind of started standing his ground.
Yeah.
George
George is a mess.
George, ah, the emotional cheating, the uh, he loves his wife. He absolutely you could tell he absolutely loves his
I
wife.
mean, he'd kill for her, that's for sure. We
Yeah,
know that
yeah,
now. We
he
know that for a
and
fact.
he but there was something
Or
like
attempt to
that
kill.
relationship with him and his mom was making him so childish.
Yeah.
And it worked that character, like George's character was so good, that
I think that shows another level as well, though, toxic mother and son relationships like that.
yeah.
Where they're just so codependent on each other. Obviously, his mom had ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Their family fortune had run dry. She was very codependent on Amy's money. When she realized that they were both doing crazy shit, she was like, hell no, you guys need to stay together. So there was a lot compounded there.
Yeah.
And she definitely,
Then there
yeah.
was, the girl that was investigating her.
Oh my god. If she had just given her a little bit, she would have backed off, but she got so jealous. And then at the end when she started dating, what was Maria Bello's I forget the character's name,
I
Maria
can't
Bello's character's
her
name.
character
Oh my god, we
is
just watched this. I don't know.
Jordan
Yeah,
Forster.
that's right. The Forster chains.
Yeah,
They
so
started dating at the
that's how the show started too, in the Forster parking
in the
lot,
Forster parking
so
lot.
it's
You
kind
did
of
say that, yeah.
funny how it comes full circle
It does.
because, like, when
Yeah.
we come to the end of the show, they get, the big climactic moment where everything, the child gets kidnapped and,
Oh, that was crazy. So crazy.
Da
Unknowingly kidnapped.
Danny doesn't know what to do. Danny, like, is just, like, trying to just get this kid out of
Yeah.
but Danny should have stopped the car after he beat the shit
Come
out of
on.
George, or just let the kid walk home.
Yeah.
The kid was, like, literally down the block.
I wouldn't have let her walked home. I would have, at the very least, rolled up there, "Get out!" and try
Yeah,
to leave
yeah.
again.
I mean,
Like,
that
you
was
don't just keep
crazy.
going. That was
And,
crazy.
how did she get in that car, though? Why did she go in that one? What? Because, like, I feel maybe
Remember, she had built a
she built
relationship
a
with him.
relationship
She
with
felt
him.
really comfortable with him, so she was probably like, "I'm gonna go and,
Go in
get
his
in his
car. Yeah,
car."
that was crazy.
Yeah,
And
kids.
then, like, when the whole climb at the Forster house.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
that was
my
crazy.
oh my god, that it was like
Yeah.
watching an action movie take place. It was amazing.
No, her trying to go into her
Um,
panic room, that was
you know, um,
rough.
I think Danny Cho's best scenes is when he's not talking and when he's in fear, just like he was when the cops were
Uh-huh.
going in there. But the
Yeah.
one thing that was crazy was that we learned, Paul and Danny are trying to escape.
Mhm.
And Danny reveals to Paul that the house burnt down because he messed up the wiring.
Mhm.
That was one of the biggest revelations to
Yeah.
me in the show itself. I
Yeah,
couldn't
because 'cause you're
believe
trying to
it.
figure out who burnt this house down, and the
Yeah,
whole time you're thinking yeah,
it was crazy, and
yeah,
that ran through my mind. There was a lot of plot holes
is that this
that they
karma?
closed down, and then
Yep,
Forster gets cut in half, and then we get into the car accident.
yep,
They're in the woods for what, 2, 3 days or something
couple
like that.
days.
Couple days.
Mhm.
They get poisoned. They get high.
Yep.
They get into this.
Neither one of them know what they're doing
Yeah,
survival-wise, they eat berries, they
yeah.
start puking and shitting, yeah,
And then
yeah.
no, but she tells him they were safe, and he eats them
She neither one of them knew what they were doing
because she doesn't know anything about
about plants.
plants.
She doesn't know shit about plants. So, it's just yeah, it's
Yeah,
the irony of her owning a $1,000,000 company and not knowing shit about botany. It's
yeah.
funny.
So that
But yeah, they're there.
and then we get to, that everything comes up, and then they
Mhm.
get their signal. George is finally freaking out, and
Blowing her
then,
phone
like,
up.
oh
And
my
no,
god,
but the messages that pop up, "You're on the news. They're looking
yo.
for you. Where are you?" It's
And
a
these are
lot.
scenes that I wish that we could have seen, like, on the TV, like,
Yeah.
maybe of George's perspective and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then we finally see George, and he's got a gun,
That man's got a gun.
and he shoots Danny.
George.
And then we wake up in the hospital, and we have an ambiguous ending that
Yeah.
could literally mean anything. Um,
It's
Interesting enough that I mean, I can see why they didn't go with the same formula for season 2 because the story was over.
They never intended it to.
Yeah,
The producers never intended
but
it to
there's
follow.
still unanswered beef.
Yeah, but you know what? And that's okay. I'm okay with the way it ended just because I got what I needed. The
Yeah,
story came full circle.
I
It
just
did have, a good ending,
yeah, I wanted a
and it's
little
a nice
more.
what if. It's
Yeah,
a
I
nice what
wanted
if
a I just
for what could
I
be.
think a second season of this story would have been nice to see because, like,
Oh, I was wanting it.
oh no,
I wanted
yeah,
it and I didn't know when I started watching it and when they announced season 2 before they put out the preview for it, I was like, "Thank God they're gonna continue the story." I didn't know until a couple of weeks before,
it
actually,
was a whole
Nicole
different.
told
It was a
me.
whole
She was like, "Bitch, I don't think it's following the story." I was like, "No, yes, it is. No, it's following the story."
yeah.
And when I saw the
That's
preview, I was like, "Fuck,
It's
it's a different
so
story."
interesting because, like, the story itself, right? there's still some open plot holes
There
because
is.
she's laying in bed with Danny.
They're going to jail, first of all.
Yeah.
They're not
Okay.
getting out of this without running away. They get Danny's
George
going
too.
they're
George
going to jail.
George shot
There's
somebody.
gonna be trials at the very least. Some people this is not what's her name? Jordan's girlfriend, the one that had she's
Yes.
gonna go hard for that.
I think either Bobby or Michael survived. Bobby, I
But
think Bobby
Bobby
survived.
survived.
Michael, yeah, Bobby
And Danny
survived.
yeah.
I don't remember. I can't. Did no? Danny got
Santino
arrested.
died. Isaac was
Yeah,
arrested.
Isaac, that's what I meant.
Yep,
Isaac
Isaac
got
was arrested.
arrested.
Danny's in the
So there's
hospital.
still like a couple,
Yeah, there's things floating around
like
there.
there's
Yeah.
some still stuff that they could play with the
Yeah.
with another season, but alas, they did a very fruitful opening season for this. Listen, A24 is good.
Yeah.
But there was a
It's really
couple
good.
Easter eggs I thought were really cool too. Like I had mentioned before, um Amy's house is modeled after her own home.
That's it's a beautiful home.
Yeah, so it's so they
A timeless kitchen.
with a timeless kitchen and you know a bathroom you could
Piss
piss all
all
over.
over.
Yeah, so that was cool. A
Yeah.
couple other Easter eggs that I thought were really cool. Uh, so Amy's house is beautiful but emotionally trapped.
Mm.
It also says here that Jordan's art and objects are not random. Netflix has a whole breakdown of the art in Beef, including pieces like the Tamago chair. Hello. And Jordan's crowns. Production designer Grace Yeun explained that the art choices were inspired things like magazine spreads, yoga poses, and Play-Doh, with the objects helping define the characters' inner worlds.
Interesting.
It said, oh, and this was okay. So I didn't know this, and I thought this was interesting. The episode titles.
Oh yeah, they were
So
each it was a an art piece, right?
yeah, so I think that was because that looked to me that reminded me of Danny Cho's art.
Mm.
So the titles, it says the titles are not just cool phrases; they point toward the show's themes:
Right.
identity, anger, emptiness, purpose, and the search for meaning. For example,
Mhm.
episode 2, "The Rapture of Being Alive," is tied to a quote associated with Joseph Campbell, known for his work on myth and the hero's journey.
Mm.
It says, and it said, "Oh, look at the road rage incident is small on purpose. The whole show starts with something stupid and
So
ordinary. That is the point. Beef is not really about the traffic incident. It is about what incident unlocks in two people who are already miserable, repressed, and looking for someone to blame."
yep.
And the one thing that I like here is that the beef keeps changing levels. So,
Oh my god, it just keeps
yep,
getting kicked up. It really does. And they both play a part in that.
yep.
They both play a part in
Um,
that. So,
I do really love this show. This show for me was a solid 9 out of 10.
oh,
It
absolutely.
was a 9 out of
Yeah,
10.
they nailed
And
it.
interestingly enough, like you think like you watch the show, right? And you think it's about beef, right? And yeah, it is about beef.
Mhm.
But I felt like it was more about shame.
Mhm.
You know, two people who were not prideful enough to own up to their own demons and instead just wanted to, they don't, it wasn't about living a little, it wasn't about having fun. Even though there was some fun, even though they were giggling at a bunch of the moments,
Right.
they were both very broken people,
Lost. Yeah.
and there was a lot of shame in this and there was a lot of shit that went down. And in the end, like you said, everyone's going to jail.
Oh yeah, they're going
So
down hard.
I'm curious to see, our next episode will be Beef Season 2,
Yep.
and I'm curious to see if we're ever going to see any kind of callbacks, any, not a spin-off, but you know how
Just give us some news on the TV in a series. Like show us Danny Cho released from jail 5
a
years like
newspaper.
something. Tie it all together a little bit. I
I
know it's
like
different
that.
beefs, but it's gotta be in the same universe.
Oh, no,
So, that'd be
well, if
cool.
you think about it, if we're talking about, like, a realistic world, then yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Yeah.
these are
Put
this
that chair up for auction again. Maybe somebody in the next season will buy his chair. Like, there's so many things they could
now I'm
to
curious now I'm curious if the Tamago chair is in season 2. Now I'm curious.
So,
Now I'm gonna have to go back,
yeah,
but I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what's next in
me
store for
too.
A24 and
Yeah.
this series if they continue it. I haven't seen any confirmation on the third season, but I am looking forward to. I mean, this is
I
the
think they said they wanna keep going.
yeah.
I'm
So
pretty
what's
sure.
your from 1 to 10? What you got?
This is a 9.5 for me. This is
9.5.
like an instant, like,
Now, what
I love
about
it.
replayability meter?
Replayability meter, I would put it at on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd put it at probably like a 7, 8.
Okay, and
I loved watching it again. I'd probably watch it
yeah.
a few more times. There's a lot of shows that come to mind that I'm like, no, replayability doesn't come to mind when I hear Beef, but it definitely could be. Yeah,
I
I'd say.
agree. Now, my last question, is it binge worthy?
Oh,
Can you sit there and watch the whole season in one sitting?
can I? I did. When this came out, I watched the preview. I was like, at first, and then I was like, no, gotta watch this. You probably don't remember, but I watched it in one night. I did not. I could not stop.
I think I do remember it.
I could not stop. It's
It
like
was
Tiger King, every episode you're like,
oh my god.
"What?" No,
No,
I
well,
was
that was the thing.
sucked in.
That's why I like this because each episode, it felt like the ending of a season, and it
Mhm.
was powerful. It was written so good,
You're just like, "How much more can these 2 fuck this shit up
and it's
than what they
relatable.
have?"
I mean,
It's real
not to the not all
some things are relatable,
yeah, and,
but simple road rage incidents like that, I mean,
little petty
it
moments,
makes you think, like, maybe I shouldn't chase this person down. Maybe I should just let him go.
the pettiness is real.
Oh, the pettiness
The
is
pettiness is probably the most realist thing in
it's
this show I
beyond
have
petty.
ever seen in anything.
Like, "Hail to the petty
Like,
king."
there whoever, who wrote this? Hold up.
Who wrote this? I forget his name.
I gotta go through my
But again, it's based off of a real life situation because I think that's why I love the first season so much.
yeah.
And I will give, of course, which season was my favorite. But it was so like, oh shit, this could happen to me.
Yeah, so I can't I don't have it in my notes who's the writer, but Lee Jung Sin, the
Lee Jung Sin is the one who
Lee Sung Jin, excuse
Lee
me.
Sung Jin is the one who
The
experienced that.
yeah, I mean, it's incredible. He's
Yeah,
a
he did
genius.
great. He did
He's
great.
a genius, and
Yeah,
all hail to Beef and A24
yeah,
and Netflix. I mean, they just pop out good stuff. They just pop out good stuff. But yep, that's it.
yeah.
Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time for Beef season 2. And we got a couple we're gonna have a little like 10-15 minute conversation on The Punisher coming out soon and a couple other episodes coming out, like the 10 worst episodes, 10 best reality TV shows, 10 shows that we wish were still going, and many, many more, guys.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. Check us out on Instagram at TuneIn and TubeOut. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And you got anything else for them?
Go watch Beef season 1.
Yeah, go watch Beef season 1. Go watch Beef season 1. Peace out.